inside of you.
Hi, and welcome to Confident Leadership in Color. I'm Hanna Zaxmy, and I'm really glad that you are here. In our first episode, I shared the heart of why this podcast exists, why it's here and who it's for, and how colorful leadership isn't about squeezing into a mold, but about showing up as more of yourself and in your true colors and showing up how you lead. And now we're here in episode 2. To be honest, I'm hoping I will sound a little more relaxed today, because here's the thing: when I do something new, especially something I don't have done before and have not so much experience, well, I get a bit focused, I can say. So I a bit forget to breathe and I tighten up. So maybe you can relate. But what's actually surprised me a bit was that the amount of resistance in me to start the podcast, even though I really wanted to, and not because I didn't believe in it, but because it's unfamiliar, it's uncomfortable. But here's the other part. I also learning to love more and more. It's the new on the job feeling. It makes me to be more curious, more alive. It's that awkward mix between, are you sure you're going to do this? And wow, I'm really doing it. And maybe that's something you can relate to as well. So today we're going to keep building from there, from where you are, not where you think you should be. We will explore confidence, not the loud, polished kind, but the kind that runs deeper, that feels like alignment, like clarity, knowing who you are and choosing to stand in it. So first of all, let me take you back to a moment when I realized and learned this a bit the hard way. It's a cold, gray December day, almost 8 years ago. I'm sitting completely frozen on the outside on an old travel trunk in a cloakroom. In my hand, I'm holding a phone, which is now quiet and black. Just moments ago, it wasn't. Inside of me, there is the complete different. It's chaos, a cocktail of sadness, frustration, and anger and confusion. And that annoying, persistent voice repeating, "What's your decision?" That is increasing the volume bit by bit. Alongside with that, it rings the last words from my manager, whom I just spoke to. They are sharp, clear, and impossible to ignore. "If you don't cancel your training immediately and get back to the office within an hour, I consider it refusal to work. And I personally will make sure that you lose your job." Tears started to pour down on my face. I now began to shake, overwhelmed by shock and confusion. Leading up to this moment, I was deep into a demanding managerial role, a season in my career where work consumed nearly every waking moment. But that day, I was somewhere different. I'd finally carved out some precious time, stepping away from the intensity to invest in myself and to start a coaching training program in Stockholm. I really looked forward to these days for months. Finally, a chance to breathe, to learn, and to discover new ways to lead. And there, my phone just continued ringing again and again. And eventually, I had no choice but to step out and take the call. And it was from my manager. The conversation went back and forth. Frustration was building, tensions mounting, and then those impossible words again. So now, here I was, sitting alone in this cloakroom, completely stuck. Should I leave the training immediately, come back another year just to protect my job? Or should I stay, risking the job for something I wasn't even sure I could fully explain yet? but felt right in my gut. Minutes passed. I sat there completely undone, caught between fear and a stubborn spark inside me that refused to go out. Trapped in what I now call is a crash state. Overwhelmed, uncertain and emotional. Ulrika, one of the assistants, come and take me away to another part of the building. She sits quietly till I have calmed down on the outside. And when the tears finally have slowed, she asks, "Would you like to do the exercise the others are doing? I can guide you." Without hesitation, I hear myself responding, "Why not?" Honestly, I had no clue on what this exercise was, but I needed anything to quiet the storm inside my head so I could make a good decision. So Ulrika continued. Through this exercise, you will define your passion, what drives you, and your vision. So stand up and we'll get started. I remember laughing slightly at the absurdity of it all. An exercise on vision right now, when I felt like my entire career was slipping away. But inside of me, there was a different sound. A quieter yet energetic whisper saying simply, "Do it." So I did. I stood up and Ulrika guided me clearly through a simple exercise about vision and passion, step by step. A few minutes later, something incredible happened. I found myself standing tall, smiling, tears still on my face, but now it was more of joy and relief. I felt so much lighter. I heard myself say out loud, "Through developing, challenging, creating change, that is what gives me energy and joy." And I saw it clearly. What I wanted to contribute with, the person I wanted to become. I felt it, and how I wanted to lead with clarity, courage, and authenticity with my colors. And suddenly, that tough decision wasn't so tough anymore. It was clear. I chose to stay. I chose to trust myself. I chose to lead from my values, my colors, my vision, even though I didn't know exactly how it would turn out. I finished the training, and when I returned to the office 2 days later, I didn't lose my job. Instead, my team and I signed a major contract, and we could start developing a completely new product. But honestly, even if I had lost a job, I had already won something far greater. I had found real confidence. Not the loud kind that we often admire from the outside, but the deep, steady kind that comes from alignment, from knowing who you are and daring to act on it, even when it's scary. And that's what I want for you. That moment changed me and changed something in me. And it's the one I still return to, especially when confidence feels hard to reach. So let's take a moment now and bring this back to you. For me, that moment in Stockholm has become a powerful reminder of starting from the right end. It's taught me the importance of having a clear vision and direction, knowing deeply with clarity and assurance exactly where I'm heading, and knowing it's truly where I want to be in the end. That is what real confidence feels like. What would it mean for you to feel truly confident in the direction you're heading right now? If you rated your confidence on a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is I'm completely aligned and confident in my direction, where would you place yourself today? Got a number? Great. Now let's take that reflection a step further. You already reflected on where you are, and that's good. Now I want to give you a few other questions to help you to build from that. So start by looking back. What shifted to bring you to this step? What are you proud of? And now look forward. What would it take to reach the next step? What will it look like? What will it feel like? Confidence is not one-dimensional. It's made up many colors. So let's spell out confidence. So we start with C. C for clarity. It's knowing what matters most, which helps you to lead with direction. O for ownership, taking responsibility for your mindset and energy. N for nurture. Confidence grows when you care for yourself and do not sub-optimize instead of focusing on the whole part. F for focus. Staying intentional helps to avoid overwhelm. I for intuition. Listening to heart, brain, and gut. Trust it. D for discipline. Showing up for yourself builds trust. E for empathy. Confidence with warmth connects and inspires. And N, that's for next step. Not perfection, just movement forward. And T for truth. Standing in your values make you magnetic. Being confident doesn't mean that you need to be loud. It's being aligned. It grows when you trust your colors, your values, and dare to lead from there, one step at a time. So, based on your previous reflection on your confidence level and looking towards your next level, what is the one step you can try already today or latest by tomorrow? Write it down or say it out loud. Having been in different managerial and leadership roles for the past 20 years, I've come back to this truth again and again. The ability to lead others starts with my ability to lead myself. That's why you often will hear me talk about self-leadership. One of my teachers, Kjell Enhage, uses a metaphor I really love. He says that thinking of yourself as a company, so like me incorporation or me limited or in Sweden we would say me AB. Just like any business needs a clear vision, value and direction, so do we. That's why in the coming episodes I will take you through this confident framework, a colorful, practical structure to grow your self-leadership step by step. And the next week we will begin with the first letter, C for clarity. If you'd like to get a head start, I created a free clarity workbook to help you to reflect on where you are now and where you are heading. You can find the link in the episode description or just email me and I will send the link to you. And email then at podcast@migmatit.se. So, as we close today, I want to leave you with this. Confidence doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. It's a quiet clarity that says, this is who I am, and this is the direction I choose. It doesn't have to be fearless to be real. It grows when you align with what matters most. When you choose to trust your voice, your values, and your colors. Even in those uncertain moments. Like that moment in Stockholm gave me the insights into where I wanted to go. Not because I had it all figured out, but because I dared to stand for something that aligned with who I really am. And that's what I want for you too. So take a moment this week, reflect on where you are and what your next step might be. Not the perfect step, just the next honest one. And if you want to support to get things clearer, I've got you. So download the Clarity Workbook or email me. In the next episode, we'll bring our journey through the confident framework. And we will start, of course, with C for clarity. Because when you're clear on what you really matters, everything else gets so much easier. Thanks for being here, for reflecting with me, for choosing to lead. Not from pressure or perfection, but from presence, purpose, and color. I'm Hanna Zaxmy, and this is Confident Leadership in Color. Let's keep going together.
inside of you.